All right, today we're doing a live stream. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I know nobody's watching yet, but yeah, so I'm going to do a live stream. Hi, Alter. Hope you're doing well. Gonna crack open here a Diet Pepsi. I really need to cut back on the diet soda. I keep saying that, but I really do. But oh well, for today at least. It's a new week. But if anybody didn't catch it, last night, me and Scotty, we did a live commentary for Deep Rising. So I'm going to later on put that in the community. So for people can, check it out and stuff and check out Scotty's channel and what have you. But what I'm going to start doing here on Mondays is do like a solo stream. And we'll kind of figure that out, and I'll figure out the schedule and stuff. But yeah, so I'm thinking about like Mondays, like, do solo streams like this. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about the movie. I'm definitely curious about it. I don't know if I want to go to a theater and pay the full admission right now, but I've heard a lot of good things about the movie. Sorry if I'm coming in extra bright here. Maybe if I back up like that. I have a curtain on the window, but I'm still coming in bright, but it's okay. Yeah, Bedazzled's a fun one. I like that movie. What is that avatar from? Because that looks so familiar to me. I don't know what. So this Thursday night, I'm going to be doing a hangout, and we're going to shoot for around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see who jumps in. But yeah. Like, hopefully Matt will be there. Hopefully Scotty. Hopefully Wildman. Maybe I'll reach out to Fabio. Gabo. We'll see what happens. Hey, Wes. Good morning, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Monday so far. Yeah, I'm trying to think like when would be a good time to get up. I know this is the last week of March. I don't know how soon, like, would you be up for like getting up one night, you know, I mean, if you want to go for an hour or, what have you, but just, sometimes I forget, like, because I know I've asked before, like, what nights work for you. And, sometimes I forget. But I did see you uh, did a discussion on Dick Tracy. I haven't seen that film yet, but someone did request for me to review it, and I do have the Blu-ray, so I will be checking that out soon. Oh no, you're good. Um, no, I was saying like I know I've asked before about like getting up and uh, I don't know what kind of nights work for you. I know we've talked about it before, but maybe sometime next week or something. Like we can get up for an hour and some change, and just kind of shoot the breeze. Talk a little bit. And yeah, this stream is kind of out of the blue, so a lot of people are kind of either working or doing something else, and it's kind of early in the day. I have not seen the film yet, but I have seen the first one. Uh, Ready or Not, I like the first movie quite a bit. Another good movie that I did watch, or me and Rosanna watched, Dangerous Animals with John Courtney. That was a really good one. I was surprised of how much I enjoyed that film. And he's like a guy that kidnaps people, and he uses sharks to sort of like play these games. I really enjoyed that. I was entertained by that movie. Jai Courtney, he's good in the film. I'm surprised. I really don't know much about Justin Timberlake's situation. Yeah, I mean, I think the video is going around of him where he got pulled over. Again, I really don't know. I mean, I really don't care one way or another. And it's nothing against the question. I just don't really know much about, like, he got a DWI or something, but that's the extent of what I know. I mean, I don't really know that much more. Yeah, I didn't plan on going live, but it just kind of, uh, I thought, why not, But like I said, Mondays, what I might do is just make that a day where I can do like a solo stream, for a couple of hours or more. Uh, and then like, you know, once a week, do a podcast with somebody or do a hangout. So, if you hear some noise in the background, it might be the TV downstairs, but it's okay. While I wait, I'll just kind of look at some movie news here. Alan Richson filmed allegedly attacking neighbor. Yeah, yeah, I did see that. I saw a video. Schwarzenegger's back, preparing to once again crush his enemies, getting in shape for the next Conan film. Again, we don't really need it. He's too old. Red Letter Media, I think I've heard of them, but I don't, maybe I've seen like one video from their channel, but I really don't, you know, I don't know. I really don't watch their videos. Like I may have watched one of their videos back in the day, but I don't, you know, but that's about it. Uh, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. Again, I really don't know much about his situation, which is worse, Speed 2, Cruise Control, or the Point Break remake. Well, I haven't seen the remake of Point Break, so I'll go with Speed 2 by default. But yeah, Red Letter Media, maybe I keep thinking like I've seen one video of theirs back in the day relating to Star Wars or like one of the Star Wars sequels or prequels. They have a very good video right now about mid-budget movies being released and absolutely bombing. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to check that out. I mean, like I said, I haven't really checked out their stuff or videos or content, but I definitely will. What if Rob Zombie directed a remake of The Birds? Uh, we're screwed then. I've seen his version of the monsters. If it's anything like that, then we're in trouble. What was the best year for each of these decades? The 70s, 80s, 90s? For me, it's between the 80s and the 90s. Probably the birds would be swearing. Yeah, probably. But believe it or not, that's one film that I still haven't seen, The Birds. I have never seen The Birds. I do have it on DVD, actually. 90s is the best decade, but I love the 70s and 80s too. The late 2000s was good, but 9/11 made the early 2000s kind of suck for media. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I definitely kind of changed the landscape of entertainment and escapism because it seemed like after that, like movies, and it's not to say that movies weren't fun, but you can definitely tell there was a change in sort of the attitude, a change in uh, the way movies are made. And like, there's certain things, because of 9/11 that, you know, I mean, it's changed and it's gotten better, but yeah, definitely around that time, like I think, and it's not directly because of that, but I think the ripple effect of that tragedy just kind of changed the way movies felt. Uh, yeah, so I can agree with that. That would be interesting. I mean, I like to see what Del Toro would do with a Hercules movie, especially with this visual style. If Rob Zombie remade Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah, probably. Alter Ego, is this you again? Like, are you also this Jack person? I could be wrong, but I don't know. It's just kind of it's weird. I don't know if you would make Hercules a stop motion movie. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what he would do with that, but that's a what if, you know? Have a good one, Alter. Hey, Ruben. Got Grand Theft Ruben in here. It's not my cat. It's not my poster, Ruben. This is a spare bedroom. It's not even like it's not my those posters on the wall. Everything you see behind me is not mine. So, Ed McShane's a good actor. I liked him in the John Wick movies and other stuff. Which is worse, Sabotage or Killing Gunther? Probably Killing Gunther. That was pretty horrible. She is doing well. She's working right now. Okay, I've maybe have only seen one Kung Fu Panda film, but that's it. Whichever one that came out around like 2010, 2011, because I was working at the theater around then, around that time. And I think like there was a Kung Fu Panda movie that just came out. I don't know. I'm not really big on the Kung Fu Panda movies. I mean, I don't know. Dasani water, no, it's gross. I'd rather drink like Deer Park. Which is better, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Wrong Turn? Well, if we're talking about the original Chainsaw Massacre, then we got to go with that one. Wrong Turn is fine. Like it's a man, I haven't seen Wrong Turn in years, um, but there's no comparison there. Yeah, I'm glad that Gary Sinise is still around. I wish he would come back for, a role or whatever. You don't really see him much now, and I think he's just retired. Oh, the remake? I'll go with um I'll go with Wrong Turn. Yeah, the Karate Kid 2 turns 40. Wes, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but I'll check to see if you send a message or something. Okay. But I'll reach out to you. I don't know if you're still here or not, but yeah. Nia Peebles is blind now. I had no idea. She's blind? Wow. Okay, that's cool. You're rebuilding the podcast set. Yeah, I wish I could do a little bit more in here, like cosmetically, but a lot of this stuff in this room is not mine, so I don't want to, you know. Um, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, we're gonna have to get up, very soon here. I don't think I've seen either. I don't think I've seen either film. Yeah, it's so crazy to think about that. Yeah, Chuck Norris, yeah, the actor that played Trevette and the actor that played CD, they're all gone. I'm talking about Walker, Texas Ranger, but yeah, the main cast they're pretty much gone, which is sad. No, I haven't seen the Tom Savini documentary. Hey, John Smith, like the Avatar. Welcome to the chat, John Smith. So, favorite music album? I don't know if I have a favorite, but I have ones that I love. I mean, I I don't even have my vinyl collection here. My vinyl collection is back in storage. But yeah, I love. Oh God, I don't know if I have a favorite. I don't really collect albums. I mean, maybe at the most I have like 20 vinyls, and that's pretty much it. Or a album. I know you didn't ask about vinyls. I don't know. I really don't have a favorite album. Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of the greats are getting old, which is sad too in a way because you just don't know how much longer they'll be here. I mean, this year we've already lost, quite a number of people, and we're only like 3 months in. Yeah, that's crazy too. I mean, like Clint Eastwood, like he's getting up there in age. Bruce Willis does not look too well. There were some pictures that I think there were some pictures that have been released on Bruce Willis, and it's just not good. Yeah, Buffy the Vampire. I can't talk. Yeah, Buffy. Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Fun show. Yeah, Empire Strikes Back is. Yeah, that one's probably my favorite Star Wars film. I love Empire Strikes Back. I haven't seen either of those movies, but I definitely need to check out those films. Yeah, I mean, even William Shatner. William Shatner just turned 95, but he is still sharp as a tack. I don't know how. Like, I don't, it's mind boggling that William Shatner is still, out there and keeping himself active and, doing cons and all this stuff. It's insane. At his age, I mean, what a life. Yeah, George Takei. Yeah. The 1930s or 50s. Are we talking about movies? Because I really haven't seen that many. I mean, I really haven't seen that many films from the 30s or 50s. No, I've never heard of Regular Show. Never seen it. Are there any people in the chat who can agree with me that The Dark Knight is the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy? I mean, yeah, The Dark Knight is the best. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends on the person because they can also like they could say Return of the Jedi is the best or the first one's the best, like. But out of the Dark Knight trilogy, the Dark Knight is the best one. I mean, that's just. And then right behind that, I would say Batman Begins. Oh boy. Oh boy. Thoughts on the Olsen twins? I mean, nowadays I don't know. I can't really say too much. Back then, they were popular. They were okay. I remember I didn't really watch a lot of Full House, But the movie they did, It Takes Two, I remember watching that more than Full House. I don't know why. That's a big question. I have no. It's harder to imagine. Like, I mean, I don't want to go like that deep into this question because that can veer off into you know political answers or what have you. And I'm trying not to do that here. But I mean, I think there would be less cynicism. Uh, I mean, that's a big question. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it would be a different world, that's for sure. What would what would the '90s be like if John Candy, Chris Farley, and Fiddle? Okay, so start off with John Candy. I think eventually he would have done some more comedies. I do think he would have delved into drama a little bit more. Chris Farley, I think there's a very good possibility he would have gone on to do Shrek. Uh, After that, I don't know. I mean, I think he would have done Grown Ups with Adam Sandler, and then like possibly after that, he would have kind of you know maybe semi-retire. Phil Hartman, I can see he would have done more comedies. Nowadays, I think he would have been retired or something. But that's a great question. But I could see like where a John Candy would go the route of, he would do comedies for a while and then like kind of like with Bill Murray, do like dramas here and there to kind of like stretch out his acting. I drove the parallel between two trilogies because they have similar story structure, despite being drastically different in terms of the plot themes and characters. Yeah. I mean, you could say that. I mean, you know, The Dark Knight is the high point of that trilogy. And, like for me, the high point of the Star Wars trilogy, the original, is Empire Strikes Back. So, I mean, that's where, but I know a lot of people love A New Hope. So, I mean, what would the 80s be like if Belushi lived longer? I could see him definitely being in more comedies. I really haven't seen that many of Belushi's movies. I mean, I got Blues I got Blues Brothers, but I have not seen that all the way through. Who's worse, Mark Wahlberg or Bill Skarsgård? Uh, I'll go with Bill Skarsgård because at least Mark Wahlberg has been in some movies that I don't mind. I mean, both actors have they're both overexposed, but Mark Wahlberg has been in some good movies. Oh, what would the '70s be like if Bruce Lee lived longer? I do think he would have done more martial arts films throughout the '70s. I think he would have collaborated with Chuck Norris again in the '80s. Then like in the '90s, you know, I mean, the possibilities are endless, because there was a kind of a martial arts resurgence in the '90s. So that would have been a great time for him to, maybe you can have him collaborate with Jackie Chan and collaborate with other people, whether it be Jet Li. Who knows? I mean, it would have been a great period. Him and his son Brandon would have done something together before Brandon passed. But that's a good question. Best to worst ending for each Terminator flick. I mean, my favorite ending is probably the second one. I mean, I probably in the order they came out, just to make it easier. I mean, I need to watch the Terminator films again. What if Schwarzenegger never run for politics? I think he would have done more movies. No, it's not sensitive like to answer, but that's one thing I wish that he would have never ran for governor, because we would have gotten more movies. I mean, there was, he appeared in the first Expendables film, but there was a good 10 years there where, he could have done a lot more if he had not, pursued politics. But what can he do? Maybe during that time period, he could have done another Conan if he wanted to. Let's say in a different universe, he didn't, pursue politics. He could have done another Conan film. He could have done Crusade, possibly. What would 90s be like if Brandon Lee didn't die? I think he would have been sort of built as that. I think he would have had the same push that Keanu had in the early 90s, where Keanu did Speed and, and then from there he would do, some films, like Johnny Mnemonic and Chain Reaction, but, he would have The Devil's Advocate and then The Matrix. I think he would have had sort of the career of like Keanu Reeves, that kind of trajectory, because I do think that he would have been a big star coming off The Crow, and it's just sad that we'll never see that. Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, The Force Awakens. Yeah, I need to check out the prequels. I mean, like, I've seen them, but yeah, I need to check out, like, I remember not minding The Phantom Menace, but it has serious flaws going on. Well, I mean, he definitely would have had, if Van Damme had never done drugs and be more humble throughout the 90s, maybe we would have got a Time Cop trilogy. Steve McQueen, honestly, I've only seen one film that he did. I've only seen Bullet. So, and he's not a bad actor. I just don't have like a lot of attachment to Steve McQueen. So I can't really say. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I just haven't really seen too many Steve McQueen movies. Yeah, Robert Duvall, Chuck Norris, Catherine O'Hara, James Vanderbeek. We've lost quite a number of people already, and it's not even April. Yeah, I'm still in kind of a shock that Chuck Norris is gone. If On Deadly Ground was a hit, how many theatrical releases would Steve have before his direct-to-video era begins? I don't know if I don't think even if On Deadly Ground was a hit. I mean, Under Siege was a hit, But after that, he did On Deadly Ground, or because I don't think Steven Seagal did anything in '93. I don't know. I mean, like On Deadly Ground is not it's not a great movie. I can still have fun with the film, but I don't think it, even if it was a hit, I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I don't really know how much it made. But there's some weird elements in that film, and I don't know. I mean, again, I like the movie. Like if I were to rate the film, I would say like I would give it a 6 out of 10. I still like it, but it's not a perfect movie. But I mean, what did he do after that? He did Under Siege 2, The Glimmer Man, Fire Down Below. If Robin would have lived, um, I think he would have been retired. I think he would have like settled down eventually. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. That's a you see. I don't know, Ruben. If Whoopi Goldberg never joined The View, I mean, like, and this, I don't know, dude. I'm not avoiding the question, but it's just like, you know, I try to keep the streams fun and stuff like that. Like, I don't even want to go there. Yeah, I mean, of course, The View stinks, but I'm not gonna like. Everybody hates The View. Everybody rants on The View. So it's like, I'm not gonna. Why bother? Favorite Tony Scott movie? Probably. I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry about that. Rosanna banged her knee. I heard that from in here. Favorite Tony Scott movie? Probably. Mm, let me see. I kind of wanted to say True Romance because he directed True Romance, The Last Boy Scout, and Days of Thunder. For me, it's between The Last Boy Scout and True. I can't talk. The Last Boy Scout and True Romance. What if Whoopi Goldberg joined the NWO? That'd be funny. Well, everybody's joined the NWO pretty much, right? Because by the end, there was like, what, 30 members? Wasn't Dennis Rodman in the NWO? And now Dennis Rodman's about to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Yeah, it would be too sweet. Yeah, I mean, I like Whoopi Goldberg back in the day, but like she joined The View, and it's like, of course, like, everybody hates The View, and like, I don't watch The View, but I'm not gonna go down that road. What if Chris Benoit didn't kill his family? I don't know. I mean, I can't really say. I mean, there's a lot of what ifs. Is there a fictional character you would insert into a Mortal Kombat video game who didn't appear in a game yet? Like a character who's not in Mortal Kombat? Like a fictional character? Uh, how about Chuck Norris? Why not? Just have him, like, do it to where you can download Walker Texas Ranger. How about that? Or Bruce Lee. I'm a little bit surprised they haven't done Bruce Lee. Well, he wasn't fictional, but like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like spitballing here. Maybe I don't know. Favorite American movie by John Woo? Probably Broken Arrow or Hard Target. Yeah, I don't have a PS5. Um, but it would be cool to see, like, can you imagine Enter the Dragon as a video game? That'd be cool. Let's see. Hey, Dragon, thoughts on The Village of the Damned from 1960? I haven't seen it. I think, did you request that? Like, I keep thinking, because I have all the requests. No, I don't. Well, I have all the requests that I'm going to do on my phone here, but I haven't seen that one. I think I have the 95 version on Blu-ray, which is better. Con-Off. Wow, I got those confused. Con Air or Face Off? Probably Con Air. Well, I'm doing like random free requests, but I've already the window on the new batch of requests. I've like the deadline was like last week. Let me see here. Yeah, so as of 10 days ago, all the reviews that I'm going to do, uh, Edge of Tomorrow, Space Jam, Romeo Must Die, Dick Tracy, The Room, Nails, which is a cop movie starring Dennis Hopper, Curtains from 1993, a film called HUD from 1963, Hard Eyes, Adrenaline, Fear the Rush, Dead or Alive, Nine, Masters of the Universe, Slam Dunk Ernest, Aliens, Final Destination 2, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. So once I'm done with those, then I'm gonna do more. So if you missed that window to submit a request, when I'm done with those, I will let you guys know, and you guys can put out more. I have never seen can't even talk. Deadly Blessings. I have never seen it. What could have Mortal Kombat 95 improved to be on the level of the video games? Well, I do love the movie, but yeah, I mean, I wish it would have been awesome to see them go, like really for it, with the gore and stuff like that. That's the one thing. I mean, I love the movie, but I wish that, they would have just, go all the way with the gore. It would have been interesting to see what James Cameron would have done with that. I think it would have been more horror elements in there. But it would have been cool to see what, James Cameron would have done with Jurassic Park. I have to imagine it would have been a little bit more horror. I don't know who that is, Dragon. Hey, Jamie. Hope you're doing well. Would have John Woo made True Lies? I don't know if that would have been a good fit for John Woo. I mean, I love John Woo, but I really can't see that happening. Yeah, I remember reading about that. Like, that was like Cameron was working on making a Spider-Man film, and he wanted Leonardo DiCaprio as Peter Parker. I think Schwarzenegger was considered for Dr. Octopus, which would have been funny. I mean, I don't know how that would have worked, but DiCaprio would have been like a good fit for Peter Parker back in the day. Either him or Brandon Lee. Favorite scene you adore in an awful movie? For you, it's the Batman versus Superman storage fight scene. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think here. Hmm. I don't know. I can't. I have to think about that one. I've never seen Double Dragon. Yeah, I mean, it would have been cool to see Brandon Lee if he had lived. He could have done, another rapid fire film, like a sequel to that. I have to think that he would have, like, I mean, he did The Crow, but I don't think he would have made. Did he sign on to do like more sequels to The Crow? Because I'd rather have, like if in a different world if he had lived. I'd rather see like Brandon Lee do other stuff. Like maybe a second Rapid Fire or what have you. I can't imagine DiCaprio as Neo. I mean, that would have been a weird choice. I've never seen The Beach, but I don't know. I mean, I could see Brandon Lee as Neo. That would have been, but that's a what if. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think Keanu was the perfect casting choice. I can't see that because they've already. I mean, are you talking about the Terminator? Because like I can't see it. That's pretty cool. I have a couple of Fangorias from like back in the day. Brandon Lee was supposed to be the antagonist and Soldier with Kurt Russell. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Uh, yeah, like I said, I mean, if he had lived, I definitely would have liked to have maybe because there were. I mean, there was a rumor that he was going to be Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat. I don't know. I mean, like at that, it would have been awesome. But The Matrix would have been ideal. But that's pretty cool. I can't really see Van Damme playing Neo. I really can't. I mean, I love Van Damme, but I can't really see it. I mean, for me, like Brandon Lee would have been perfect. Yeah, I hopefully one day they'll put out the special editions. Chevy Chase's Vulture. Do you think that Rocky 3 could have been a solid final entry of the series? Um, yeah, I love Rocky 4, but I can see your point. Like, yeah, after Rocky 3, that would have been a great point to end the franchise. Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. Or Rocky 4. Rocky 4 should have been, the end of the series. I think I read somewhere that the directors, and I could totally be wrong. I could be very wrong on this. I could be way off base here. I thought the directors, like when they were talking about developing the movie, they were developing the film with Brandon Lee in mind for the lead part, like back in around like '94 maybe, or you know, uh, but you can for people out there. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'm always open to correction. But I thought maybe I heard that, before. Sean Connery or Michael Caine? I'll go with Sean Connery. I don't know where you come up with this stuff, Ruben, but it's too early for me to like improvise here. Oh no, you're fine, Ruben. I know you're goofing. But yeah, Artie Lang as Kingpin. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I may have mentioned this before, but I've actually been to the studio where he was shot. Like I wasn't able to go inside, or like they weren't doing tours or anything like that. But I have I've been to that studio where that happened. Um, but yeah, I mean, he died way too young. like I mentioned earlier, I think that if he had lived, he would have had sort of the trajectory of a Keanu Reeves. Uh, Stallone's Get Carter or The Italian Job, which is better? Mm, well, I've only seen Get Carter, so I can't really say anything about The Italian Job. So, I mean, I like Get Carter. I don't really have an answer for that. Steven Seagal as Rhino. That's almost too perfect. Brandon Lee would have been a huge star if he would. Yeah, I mean, I kind of wonder sometimes, with the push that Keanu Reeves, what back in the day when Speed was coming out and stuff like that, like, did they have that in mind for Brandon Lee? And because he passed away, like, and I'm not saying that is the reason why, but I wonder, like, you know, if because he passed away, like they were trying to find that next actor to really, you know, because Keanu got that push. I don't know. Uh, I haven't seen Superman 3, so I'll go with Batman Forever for the moment. William H. Macy, great actor. He was great in Fargo and other stuff. Laser Mission, I have seen. It's not a good movie. That's one of Brandon Lee's early films. I've seen it once, and it's just not a good film. Yeah, I don't know if I could see that. What if the Expendables, all four of them were made in the 90s? Who should have been in them? I mean, that's a big, that one, that would take a lot of thought. That's a video in it, like, that would take a whole separate video. I had to really sit down and kind of like, book it or fantasy book it. Loved William H. Macy and Shameless. Yeah, I've heard of that show, but I haven't seen it. I've heard of it. I just haven't seen it. Well, he was also good in Wild Hogs, Jurassic Park 3. I do like him as an actor. Pleasantville, yeah, he was in that. I forgot. Uh, I have never seen The Odd Couple. Shameless is nuts. Okay, I have to check it out then. What is it on, like Netflix or something? Yeah, it's on Netflix. Really? Well, now you got me thinking about that, like Tim Allen and Tom Hanks and Face Off. Maybe if it was like a comedy version, uh, that would be so weird. Like, you imagine Tom Hanks doing the grunt, or like Tim Allen with Tom Hanks's mannerisms. Uh, I I like both, but I'll go with Jurassic Park 3. I think I do like the Lost World, but I think Jurassic Park 3 moves at a better pace. and stuff like that. Least favorite location and setting from the original Star Wars trilogy. Uh, hmm. I haven't seen, I haven't watched those movies in a while, but I'm trying to think. Maybe, maybe I don't know. I would say maybe the planet with the Ewoks. I do like the Ewoks, but it's not like my favorite location or setting. 6th Day or Collateral Damage. Uh, you know what? I'll go with Collateral Damage. I think they're both decent Arnold films, but I think Collateral Damage, um, again, moves a bit faster. Andrew Davis directing. So, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm jealous. I I've never seen those films. I think I have both movies, believe it or not. I have both 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink. I've never seen them. Here's my fantastic. For the Expendables, if it was made in the 90s, Sly, Willis, Schwarzenegger, Norris, Harrison Ford, Van Damme, and Seagal. But who would you have on the bad side? Like, that's another thing, too, that's hard. When you're talking about like fantasy booking, like what if back in the day they made, Expendables franchise, who would you have on the good side? Who would you have on the bad side? Like that would, you have to really think about that. Yeah, fan casting. Diamonds Are Forever or Moonraker. You know what? I'll go with Moonraker. I know a lot of people don't like that one, or it's one of the weaker Bond films. But I had some fun with it. There's some fun to be had with that. 16 Candles over Pretty in Pink. But we're talking about Hughes. My choice is Some Kind of Wonderful. Yeah, I have that as well. Haven't seen it. Who would you have? Like what? Oh, you would have Robert De Niro as the villain, like in the first, like if you were casting your own Expendables film, and for the first movie you would have Robert De Niro. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if he would be my first choice, but I would probably like save De Niro for like maybe you can have him play like a government character. Oh, you saw Moonraker at the drive-in? That's cool. Can you imagine Al Pacino and De Niro in Face Off? Uh, I don't know. I I don't know. That's a good question, Jamie, because like I don't know. Like to me, well, it's interesting because I think when they were making Face Off, like they had considered other people, like Sly and Arnold. Like that would have been great. That would have been great to see that. Uh, I think they were talking about doing Harrison Ford and Michael Douglas, which would have been interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, I can't really imagine. Yeah, like I can't imagine Gary Busey and Mark Hamill. I mean, I mean, I know we're just kind of playing around here and shooting ideas here, but you can only go so far. Like, I can't, but that's just me. Jackie Chan should have been part of the team in Expendables 2. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, Travolta and Cage were perfect. And I don't know why they're making a second one, because I think they had a director and the director dropped out. It's not John Woo. John Woo's not directing it, it's somebody else. But we don't need a second film. Least favorite character in Terminator franchise? Probably least favorite character. I don't know. How about any character from Dark Fate? Hey, Brian. Hope you're doing well from Albuquerque. Yeah, they. It says right here on Google, Face Off 2 is in development at Paramount Pictures. It's going to be a direct sequel rather than a reboot. Adam Wingard departed the project in early 2026, but the studio remains committed to the project with both Nicolas Cage and John Travolta expected to come back. So it's still in development. I don't know why. I don't know about that, Ruben. Yeah, I mean, sure, we'll say that. I mean, I can't remember characters' names, but I can remember her face. I don't know. That's a good question. The big question is, why are they making it? Why is this needed? Why, and why? Daphne or Velma? I'll go with Velma. That's what I call Rosanna. She's my Velma. They announced Face Off 2 in 2019. Yeah, because John Woo's getting up there. I know that for sure. I think he did direct a film back in like 20. 22 or 23. What type of plot would pop out the top of your head for another flick starring Van Damme and Dolph in their prime? Um, maybe. Hmm. Maybe it could be something along the lines of like Midnight Run or something like that, where maybe one of like Van Damme could be like a bounty hunter and Dolph can be like maybe another cop or a suspect, or and they could just have fun, maybe something like that. Yeah, the whole movie. Yeah, it's gonna suck. I mean, we don't need King Conan. Arnold is pushing 80 unless they're gonna use some AI tricks here. Um, I have a feeling. I mean, because let's be honest. I mean, like I love Arnold, but I can't see. Like he's getting in shape for King Conan. I can't see Commando 2, meaning that I can't see Arnold doing the action. I can talk about Arnold and I can, like like I said, still a fan, but I also have to be realistic. Like I know they're working on another. I know, yeah, they say they're working on another Conan film, Commando, and another Predator, but there's got to be more to that because there's no way that an 80-year-old Arnold is gonna pump out those movies unless again they're gonna like incorporate some AI magic. Exactly. Like it's just enough is enough. You know, unless like again they have some tricks up their sleeve with like working with AI to make another Commando film, and Arnold is going to be part of it some way, not on a physical level, but I just don't know. AVP one or Requiem? I guess the first movie. Yeah, Arnold needs to retire. Yeah, I mean, to me it's a flawed movie. Um, there's a couple of things I like about the film, but yeah, I don't love AVP. Star Trek. I got to go with the Next Generation. Vin Diesel needs to retire. Well, he's making another Fast and Furious movie, so I don't know why. The Rock, the Rock is not. There's 20 years between The Rock and Arnold. I don't think well, not necessarily 20, but yeah, 20, probably 20 years. 20 plus years. I don't think The Rock is going to retire anytime soon. Star Trek: The Voyage Home or First Contact. I'll go with The Voyage Home because I have seen, but I haven't seen First Contact. Wow. Okay. Uh, say goodbye. Uh, that's how you take care of them. Just give them the boot. Oh, damn. Imagine Pee Wee Herman in Fast and Furious. Oh my God. Least favorite Star Trek crew member of the Next Generation? Wesley. Shut up, Wesley. Nah. Um, I guess Wesley Crusher. I mean, I like the character, but he's not my favorite character of the show. No, I haven't. I have not seen the World of Worlds that came out last year. Yeah, I mean they come out more. It seems like during like YouTube streams, or if I'm doing a stream on the phone here, they'll come out of the woodwork. Have you done a stream lately, Jamie, or anything like that? Not on my own channel, but I've been a guest on a few streams lately. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm trying to plan more like, people to collaborate with again. And maybe sometime we can do that. And because I think also Wes, he might be still here in the chat, but he's another guy that, I'd love to talk with and do a podcast with. He also participated in the skit for Good Real Hunting's Horror Awards. We parodied Weapons. Did you like that film, Weapons? I've seen it twice now. I think it's okay. I wouldn't necessarily say it was scary, though. But another film that I don't know if Jamie, if you've seen, we watched it the other day. It's called Dangerous Animals with Jai Courtney. I really enjoyed that one. I don't know if you've seen it, but that's one that I recommend. He did like Weapons, and Gladys reminds me a lot of people I see at Walmart. Yeah, I can imagine, especially around here. You see a lot of people like that. Weapons sucked. What if Harrison Ford can't talk? What if Harrison Ford played Alan Grant? It would have been interesting. Yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. Uh, I honestly, I would have to go with Sinners. And it's funny because I think Rosanna, she loves weapons more. I like Sinners a little bit more. Then I told her, like, that'll be an interesting debate. Like, that'd be a fun debate to have. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan won the Oscar, which is cool. Yeah, the more I think about it, I do like Sinners quite a bit, and I definitely want to pick up the Blu-ray. Sean Penn won the Oscar. Yeah, I did hear about that. Sinners is also on your priority list. Yeah, yeah, definitely go check it out. I really like that one. Who's better, Kevin Nash or Scott Hall? Probably Kevin Nash. What is the worst Friday the 13th movie to you? Probably, even though there's some parts to it that I like, I almost want to say Jason Takes Manhattan. What if Rocky 5 was actually somewhat more like Creed 2015? Would it make Rocky 5 better? Yeah, I mean, uh, and the whole brain damage thing in Rocky 5 was just pointless. I mean, thank God we got Rocky Balboa, so that made up for Rocky 5, but still, yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's some still, if I could talk right, there's some things that I still like about the movie, but it's not for me my favorite. It's like the weekend of the Jason series. Yeah, I mean, but I still like the movie. I would say From Dusk Till Dawn is a better film. Like I enjoy that more, but I still like Sinners. I like Jason X. I can have some turn off your brain fun with that. Yeah, Jason X, it's like dumb fun. You're like, you know what you're getting into, like, you know what you're getting into with that one. Yeah. Jason Triple X, that's a different version. John Carpenter's vampires are From Dusk Till Dawn. Uh, Probably From Dusk Till Dawn. I haven't seen either. Well, actually, no, I take that back. I have seen Halloween 6. So I can't say much about Freddy's Dead. So maybe Freddy's Dead. Yeah, I need to watch that one again. I think I have it on DVD or Blu-ray. Yeah, I love John Carpenter's Vampires, which is the worst Nightmare on Elm Street film for me. I can't really say because I haven't really seen like part 5 and part 6. I have seen the remake. Yeah, thank you, DJ. Yeah, the remake is probably the worst. I forgot all about that. Yep, that's it. I haven't. That's why I forgot about it. That's how shitty it is. I did see it when it came out, but it was a free ticket because at that time I was working at the theater, and I'm like, well, I'm not paying anything, so it was just a waste of time. I have never seen Prince of Darkness, but I think I have it. I think. Die Hard 2, Predator 2. I'll go with Predator 2. Steven Seagal's War Machine. Favorite parody movie? Probably the first Naked Gun, I would say. It seems like I had one in mind and I just forgot. Well, Spaceballs, yeah. Loaded Weapon 1, that's a fun one. You know what? I'll go with Spaceballs. I'll go with that. Yeah, I look forward to Scary Movie 6. Looks like fun. Steven Seagal must look like a California raisin by now. Yeah, I liked Seagal back in the day, but like now he's just become the butt of the joke. Well, I mean, he has been for a while, but it's sort of like an ongoing joke up here because, like, he gained a lot of weight, and I don't know. I mean, the guy was, you know, causing problems on sets back in the day, and all that stuff. The most talented comedian in my opinion. Possible. I don't know. Maybe Robin Williams. I love John Carpenter's Vampires. There's a novel. Okay, I didn't wasn't aware of a novel. Rowan Atkinson or Sacha Baron Cohen. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of either. I mean, I've seen the first Bean movie, and I wasn't a fan of that, to be honest. It just wasn't for me. I've never seen that. I've never seen You've Got Mail. How would the Scary Movie franchise turn out? The Weinsteins didn't take it away from the Wayans. I don't know. I mean, I need to I need to go back and rewatch the first two again. I remember not liking like Scary Movie 3 and 4, Saving Private Ryan or Inglorious Bastards. Believe it or not, I have not seen either, like all the way through. I know it's weird. Scary Movie 2 is the best. Yeah, I look forward to the next one. It's going to be fun. It's the tiny hands bit. I cry every time I see it. There's something going on outside. Hold on, I'm just going to take a look here. Yeah, I think the neighbors might be moving out or something. Who was more talented as a child actor, Macaulay Culkin or Eddie Furlong? Probably Macaulay Culkin. Yeah, I've seen Free Willy. How would The Mummy 3 turn out if Stephen Sommers directed it? I think it would have been much better. Honestly, I think he should come back and direct the fourth one. I'm not talking about the remake that's coming out or the remake of the. I don't know. There's one coming out, and then there's the Mummy 4 that's coming out with Brendan Fraser. It'd be cool for him to come, like have him come back and direct it. But I think you're having the guys that directed Scream 5 and 6. So I don't know. Home Alone 3 with the original cast in a remoted hotel. I don't know about that. Home Alone 3 sucks. I know some people out there like it, and I did back in the day. But nowadays, I'm not a fan of the movie. I don't know. Like, of course, when I was like 8 or 9, I ate that movie up, but, it's just not the same. When you don't have Macaulay Culkin, you don't have Daniel Stern, Joe Pesci, you don't have the original cast. Are you talking about the first Home Alone? Like the first two I thought were good. And then like after that it just got ridiculous. Because like now there's like 6 or 7. Home Alones. Home Alone 3 was originally going to focus on Kevin's cousin. Huh. The Psycho from 1960 or The Shining. I got to go with The Shining. But I'm going to go on for 5 more minutes. So, feel free to ask away. You can fire away your questions and stuff. And then I'll get as much done here as I can. Because I think we're pushing 2 hours. Yeah, I can understand that. Like, you know, they're kids' movies, but I don't know. Like, I could still, like if during the holidays, like if Home Alone is on. I mean, like nowadays, I would say like my favorite Christmas movie is like Christmas Vacation or Scrooged. Like, I'll put those before Home Alone, but Home Alone is still like a film that okay, it's on, like I'll watch it. But for kids' movies, like I think they have heart, which they still do, but I don't, I think they should have stopped after 2. Like, why did we need 3, 4, 5, 6? That's my content, or what's the word I'm looking for? You know, that's the thing I wonder about. Why did we need so many of them? Tough one, but I have to go with Jaws. That's my favorite. Final thoughts on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2022. I haven't seen it. I don't know how to answer that question, or John Smith. I really don't. Home Alone sequel is Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Yeah, Scrooged is a classic. It's definitely my top 3 Christmas movies. If Stanley Kubrick made Iron Man, I mean, I don't know how to answer these questions. I mean, and I know you're kind of, it's okay. Like, I understand, like, we're kind of playing some what if scenarios, but it's kind of, like if Rennie Harlan made a MacGyver movie, I would say in the perfect world, yeah, have Richard Dean Anderson come back, but Rennie Harlan would be ideal for it. But I don't know. The bus scene is out. I can't even talk. The bus scene is outstanding. Other than that, I didn't really like it. Is that the one I'm thinking about where like they're all like taking videos of Leatherface on the bus, or they're like trying to get selfies or something? Not running away. But I'll do one more question. But again, I haven't seen it. I just remember like watching a preview for it. I'm like, why are you standing there taking video or taking selfies and you're about to die? Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite's a great comedy. One of my favorite comedies, actually. But I'm going to wrap up for now. Thank you to everybody for watching, for sticking around for a little bit. And like I said, Thursday night, planning a hangout. I don't know who's going to be there yet, but we'll go for a little bit and have fun. But thank you to everybody for, sticking around and, chatting with me and, Hope you guys have a good day and take care.